Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Tara here. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top tips for A-level chemistry, and this was actually requested after I did my top tips for how to get an A-star for A-level biology video, so I thought I'd do the same for chemistry. Basically, if you don't know my backstory a little bit, I did 4 years of chemistry in 1 year because I'm a crazy person. Basically, I wanted to study medicine and I had the wrong subjects at that point, so I realized I had to do chemistry. So I learned GCSE chemistry and A-level chemistry all in 1 year, so 4 years in 1 year. It was crazy hard, so I thought that's why I would do a video all about my tips for chemistry. And if you're curious, I got 76% for chemistry, and this is from doing 4 years in 1 year, so I'm pretty proud of myself. And I do want to mention I actually did run out of time in the end because I was doing so much in 1 year. I didn't quite get to the last chapter to like studying it, so it doesn't matter. I'm really proud and happy with myself. So yeah, today I thought I'd give you basically my top tips on how to do really well in chemistry at A-level. Okay, so I have my little notes on my phone, so if I'm looking down, that's because I'm looking at my phone. Okay, so I quickly want to first mention some of these tips I feel like are definitely going to overlap with biology because they're kind of similar-ish subjects, except that like biology is more fact, and chemistry is like more understanding a concept. That's a nice thing with chemistry, and in a sense maths too. Once you understand the concept, there's not that much to memorize. Compared to biology, it's like a mountain of facts to memorize. Okay, so my first tip, number one, just like with biology, is understand. And this is, I think, even more important when it comes to chemistry than it does with biology, because if you don't understand a concept in chemistry, there's no way you're going to be able to answer it because you can't just guess the fact. Like, you have to know your stuff. I remember, like, when I was starting out with the enthalpy chapter, like, I had to wrap my head around it and everything, and I had to understand it before I could do those end of chapter questions in my textbook. So if you don't understand something, definitely ask your teacher for help. YouTube, Google, we are the generation of the internet. You can find your answers online. And if you would like, I would be happy to make a video on all the resources, like the best resources I found for A-level chemistry. I will make a video on that. And yeah, so yeah, basically understand, I feel, is the first most important thing. Ask your teacher for help if you can't understand a concept, because you have to understand it first. Okay, my second tip is to practice questions. So do those end of chapter questions in your textbook, and if your textbook for some reason doesn't have questions, ask your teacher if they can give you questions. Look online for A-level chemistry questions. Whatever you can, practice questions, because you have to practice applying the knowledge that you now have. Because I would find sometimes I thought, oh, okay, like I understand this concept, I know it, I can do this. And then I do a question on like entropy and Gibbs free energy, and I was like, I don't know this, like I can't figure out the answer. That means I don't understand the concept enough. So practice questions are so vital to making sure that you understand what you think you've learned. So definitely practice questions, and if you're finding that you're doing questions and you can't answer them, you need to go back and study the material more. Or if you can't answer the questions because you don't understand them, then you need to ask a teacher for help, or YouTube or Google. Okay, so that very quickly leads on to my next tip, is to ask for help. And again, I think I mentioned this in biology, but again, I think this is more important for chemistry because you really have to understand the concept. You can see I'm really stressing the whole understanding of the concept here, because if you don't understand it, you really can't answer a question. Like, for chemistry, you can't BS your way through an exam. For biology, I feel like you can a little bit more, but not chemistry. You need to understand what's happening. So ask your teacher for help. Ask if they have any free time after class. Don't be shy to ask for help. If your teacher, for some weird reason, can't help you, you could try get a tutor. If you can't afford that, there's always YouTube and Google. And if you'd like, I will do a resources video because I homeschooled myself through chemistry, so I found some good resources online. Okay, so following the whole asking for help from a teacher or YouTube or Google, the next point that I want to flow into is repetition. Okay, repetition is vital, and I feel like it was also for biology because there were so many facts to learn. Now, with chemistry, okay, once you've figured out a concept like in lattice energy, once you know how to do those, I've forgotten what they're called, those flow chart things for lattice energy. Once you understand that concept, then you need to start memorizing the little details, the little facts that they might ask you in the exam. Because trust me, they always like throw in those like 1 or 2 mark questions into the exam, which are just like fact based. So this is where repetition becomes really important. You need to memorize those little facts, and to memorize them, you can use a method I have heard is called spaced repetition. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. So spaced repetition is basically like, okay guys, go Google it or look for it on YouTube. I watched a video on it ages ago and it was a bit too complicated for me to bother with, so I just have my own version of, as soon as I learn something new, I read it. Then I read it like an hour later, then I read it later that day, then I read it the next day, then I take like a 3-day break, and then I read it again, and then I read it again a week later. So that's the repetition. And the thing is, when you repeatedly read something to yourself, your brain is going to realize this is important stuff that I have to know. Your brain's going to be like, okay, if I keep telling myself this stuff, I need to know it, so I'm going to store it in my brain somewhere special. So definitely repetition when it comes to all the little details and the facts that chemistry has as well. Okay, so my next tip is to use YouTube, and I know I sort of half mentioned this already, and this also goes along with the whole understanding the concept, which I seem to be stressing so much in this video. YouTube is great if for some reason maybe you didn't understand something in class, or the way someone is explaining something doesn't work. You know, each person learns differently, and sometimes you just need someone to explain it in a different way, and that's where YouTube comes in so beautifully. YouTube saved me. I would have failed all my A-levels without YouTube. So definitely go on YouTube, and whatever you're struggling with, you'll find a video. Like, there's a video out for everything pretty much. But don't solely rely on YouTube. Also, once you've learnt the concept and you can understand it, remember to go back in your textbook and actually memorize all the little details and the facts. So yeah, if you're struggling to understand something in the textbook because it's too detailed or confusing, definitely go on YouTube. And another thing that's really great about YouTube, and just like the internet in general, is that if you're maybe a visual or kinesthetic learner, is that often on YouTube, the videos I watched, they had like little animations and models of atoms and stuff. So if you're someone who's very visual, or if you're a kinesthetic learner, if you can get your hand on like models of like atoms and stuff, that'd be great for you. But YouTube also works because often you can find little like animations and stuff, or you can find something online if you'd like to be able to visualize it. So that's also another great side of YouTube. And at the same time, if you're an auditory learner, just listening to the video itself maybe will help the information go in. I'm all three. I'm visual, kinesthetic, and auditory, so that's why YouTube was so great for me. So yeah, definitely search around on YouTube if you'd like to like see a model of whatever you're learning about, because I know chemistry can sometimes seem a little bit abstract, actually very abstract at times, so it's nice to be able to like visualize a model and stuff. I remember learning about like isomers and that, and it was nice to be able to like visualize a model. I used to use my hands to try visualize it. So yeah, that's why YouTube is also so great, and that's why I think YouTube is such an important tip when it comes to chemistry just in general. Okay, my last tip for today is to try and enjoy learning. So I know this sounds weird, but if you can just somehow embrace school, embrace learning. Hey Mom.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm talking.
Good. We can wait.
Sorry guys, my mom just came into my room and like interrupted my video and the flow I was in and everything, but I was talking about trying to embrace school, embrace learning, because, you know, I always try to remind myself that I am so lucky to have education. Like every time I would get stressed out in chemistry and think I can't do this, this is too much, I can't handle it, I would think about all the millions of children in the world who don't have access to education and how lucky I am and how grateful I should be. And just to try and enjoy and love learning, and I am actually someone who loves learning. So yeah, if you can try and embrace the whole learning thing, I think it's definitely going to help you so much, because you stop seeing school as like this annoying necessity and rather as like this amazing opportunity, because not many people get to learn about isomers in chemistry. I'm pretty sure like 90% of the world doesn't know about that. Like, we're so fortunate to learn what we're learning, and it's interesting stuff. It's pretty fascinating, and it's amazing to be able to say that like, okay, I understand Gibbs free energy, I know what that means. Like, not many people can say that. Like, enjoy the learning, enjoy being smart and intelligent, and I don't know, I really enjoyed learning chemistry. I didn't enjoy the whole memorizing stuff before the exams, but I really embraced the learning, and it kind of made it more joyful, and I liked it. So yeah, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if this helped. A part 2 and part 3 will be coming soon, but I can't think of the other tips I have right now. And also, like, do you guys find that your voice gets sore after talking a lot? My voice is actually sore from making this video, so I'm going to come back with a part 2 and part 3 very soon, I promise. And yeah, if this helped you, please comment down below, and also let me know if maybe I need to explain some things better, and definitely type down any questions you have down below. And yeah, what else do YouTubers usually say? Comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye! Embrace learning. Hey Mom! Yeah, but I'm talking.